you, Julien?
I'm doing great. You know what? I'm actually waiting for you to tell me your story because I'm pretty sure you got a new exciting customer experience story to share, and I'd love to chat about it afterwards with you. So, do you mind sharing?
Great. Yeah, I'd love to. I'll just jump right in. This is a story of epic pain.
I've had some of those.
Yeah. This one was complicated by the type of customer relationship this was. So my father worked in a telephone company for 31 years and then was retired for, I believe it was 38 years. And as an employee slash retiree, you got your landline at a greatly discounted rate. I think it was $1.50 a month. Great.
Wow. Hard
how
to beat
cool
that.
is that? Yeah, impossible to beat that. And he was very proud of that and let me know every month. And as he got older and I took over more and more of their stuff, there was a point where they had to move. And now I need to get the phone company to move the phone to this other location. And this is an account where the revenue from the account is what, $12, $15 a month, I guess 17 whole dollars a month, something along that. So one phone call, if that's a $5 phone call, you've just eaten into so much of the revenue for that customer. And it's a benefit to employees and all that, but the math is really bad. So there was no, on the bill, there was a number to call, but it was the normal number to call. So that's what I did. I called, I went through a very long phone tree, got to an agent who said, "Oh, we don't handle those. I don't know who does." So then I made that person go figure it out. They finally figured it out, transferred me. I got to a second group. It was still the wrong group. So I got
Go figure.
Big surprise. So I got another call transfer. This turned out to be the right group. And the second I got there, it hung up.
Without giving you a direct number or a callback option,
it was literally ring.
Ouch.
So I called the first number. At least I was smart enough the second time. When I got to the second number, I found out the direct number for that. Then I called, same experience. I 3 times the first day, and then I'm like, oh, to heck with this. I went and did some other stuff. 3 times the second day. Finally, I got through to an agent, finally I got put on hold. So I did know that it was possible to get to somebody. That, however, eventually I gave up. It was like over half an hour hold. Eventually, I got the person who was transferring me to get me the number I was being transferred to. So now I was able to at least call them directly. Called directly. I finally got somebody, and simplest thing in the world. Just I want to change. I want to move this. And actually, once I got somebody, the experience wasn't horrible. It was fine. They did that. And afterwards, I just, I couldn't resist. I'm like, I need to speak to your supervisor. This is the most insane experience I've ever had.
And of course, did you get to the supervisor?
I had to call back 3 times, but I did eventually get to the supervisor.
That is grit. That is true grit here.
And we've had conversations like this before. Given what we do for a living, I'm like you. I want to help, I called him up and I got the supervisor and said, "Look, you must have the most painful job in all of your company because all you do is make customers upset. And again, the math is against you. I understand why. There's a lot of really good automation tools. There's a lot of things that can be done. How can where could I complain that would get some visibility that would actually help you in your plight?" And this supervisor was very happy to have somebody, care enough to actually make a call like that, but absolutely stonewalled me. I'm the point of contact here. I'm responsible. I'm like, I know you're responsible, but the company set you up to fail. Isn't there somebody in this company that we could talk to? And this person was just like, no, I'm not going to give you that number. I'm the point of escalation. This is it. This is all you can do.
And do you feel like after giving your feedback, anything has improved? Any action was taken, or was it just
absolutely none. Absolutely none. It was, this person was part of this person's job description. Obviously, was take all the grief. Don't think we're ever going to improve any of this.
This is such a shame because, I mean, it's not just about the customer experience. Not that it's not bad enough, because, I mean, from a customer perspective, this is terrible because it started very well. I mean, your story starts with a guy who's getting a phone line for almost nothing a month, right? Which is,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you can hardly get better
What
than that. So
more could you ask for?
exactly. So fantastic product / service to start with, but as I mean, that's like every story. As long as everything goes well, everything is beautiful. But the problem is, I mean, it's terrible from a customer experience point of view, what you're saying here, but it's also terrible from a company or contact center perspective, because when you think about it, you got this customer that brings absolutely no value to the company, right? Because I mean, what did you say? $1.5 a month,
Right.
right? So it probably costs a lot of money to the company to just keep that customer, and now there's a problem, and they waste way more money. If you think just about the software plus the agent's time spent, talking to that customer, it's just a huge amount of money that's
Just
going down the drain.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I must have done 8 attempts before I got to somebody, and 5 of those attempts, or 3 or 4 of those attempts to call involved 2 agents. Another, the 5 of those involved 1 agent. Just not getting to anybody cost them more than a year's worth of revenue out of that. So,
And it does not quite make you want to recommend the company either, anyway, or use it for yourself. You know what? I think. I mean, I'd love to get your opinion on this, but I think what I would suggest if I were to talk to that supervisor who obviously did not listen to a word you said, I would have suggested, first thing is, if you have a bunch of customers that don't bring any value, but you have them with you because that's important for the company branding, image, or social work, whatever that is, why don't you provide them with every self-service they may need?
absolutely.
And you can assume that someone is going to have to move home at some point, so they will need to call you, and you're going to lose money. Why not provide them with a special hotline or something as simple as a FAQ where they can find the answer?
Yeah, and I've thought about this a lot, and I'm moving. You can have a web form to do that. You don't ever need to talk to somebody. That's a very easy online thing. And I guess
it's not just an easy online thing. It's a much easier online kind of thing, because you can pre-fill your address automatically. You're sure it's 100% correct.
Right.
How many times, I mean, my native language is obviously not English, but even in French with the accents and all that stuff, how many times do I have someone on the phone who is trying to pick up my address and just spells it wrong, and the parcel never ends up in my home? So web is so much better for that than phone conversations.
Yeah, and my name is Max Ball, and when I speak it to people get it wrong. It's like, if you can't even communicate ball, I get bell, I get whatever. It's just like, no, follow the bouncing. It speaks to it exactly. Verbal for spelling and things like that can be really, really tough. Now, the challenge with that is my dad was in his 90s when I did that. My dad was not going to successfully do self-service on the web at that point in his life. And I think there's a lot of those people who are that way. But, also my dad wasn't calling the contact center either. I was doing that. So, The fact that it wasn't and I looked, it was, if it was an option that could be found, it was way too hard to find.
I think you got just the right word here. It's about the options, right? If you were given the option to go on the web or call a hotline, or I don't know, use WhatsApp. I mean, maybe not so popular in the US. I love WhatsApp, but that could be Facebook Messenger, or that could be iMessage. It could be any other channel, right? Who cares? If you were given the choice, if you had the option, you could have picked something that's convenient to you. And some people love calling hotlines because they need to have this, voice interaction. That does make sense. But at least you need to be given the option so that hey, I might have to wait for 30 minutes on the line, but that's what I want. Simply because you give the options to people, some people will choose something else, and you're going to mechanically reduce the volume of calls you have, and therefore speed up, reduce the waiting time for the others. I think that's a keyword here. That's options, giving people the choice.
Okay, you bring up a hot button of mine personally. I think you're absolutely right. What I hate is the way companies execute on those options so often. How many times have you called a company after going online and checking every possible thing you can online, and while you were waiting on hold, you heard, "Did you know you could do this online?" Or, "We have this tool online." And it's just like, I just want to strangle that poor person who made that recording. It's like, I did all that, I promise you. And that gets really frustrating, but you're right. It is the right way to do it. And, you don't have to tell people in the IVR that they can go online. You can assume they're grown-ups and they tried that. And I don't know the statistics. I assume companies do that because a fair percent of people call about stupid things they could be doing online. But I agree with you. Options are the key.
Well, this IVR message stuff, let's keep it for another story, because I think we have a million things to talk about on this specific topic. You know what? Let's close it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Max. And we should get back on another story in a few days' time.
That sounds great. And thank you. This was a painful experience, and it was nice to have a confessional moment to get it off my chest. So appreciate your time.
Glad to be of service. Thank you, Max.